Jin-Ah Kim stood straight, her face calm as the alien officers walked around her. They were tall, their skin blue-gray, with 4 eyes that blinked at different times. She kept her eyes forward, not showing any fear. "This is what Earth sends us, a small female." Major Drax snorted. His voice was deep and rough. "She will break in the first week of training." Commander Tahoe Park stepped forward. He was one of the few humans with rank in the Galactic Defense Force. "Major Drax, Jin-Ah Kim was an Olympic gold medalist in shooting. Her accuracy scores are the highest we've ever seen from Earth." Drax waved a large, 6-fingered hand. "Earth games mean nothing in real war. The Vector will not stand still like your paper targets, human." Jin-Ah spoke for the first time. "I don't need them to stand still, sir." The room went quiet. Alien officers looked at each other. A human female had just talked back to a major. Drax moved closer to Jin-Ah. He was more than 2 feet taller than her. "You think you can fight in this war? The Vector are twice your size. They can see in the dark. They can run for days without rest." Jin-Ah nodded. "Yes, sir. But they still die when shot in the right place." Commander Park tried not to smile. This was why he had chosen Jin-Ah for the program. She was not just skilled, she was brave. General Krell, the highest-ranking officer in the room, stepped forward. He was a different alien race, with green skin and a ridge of bone on his head. "Commander Park, your faith in your kind is interesting, but humans have been part of the Alliance for only 2 years. You are the weakest species we have ever accepted." "With respect, General," Park said, "physical strength isn't everything in modern war." "No." Krell looked at Jin-Ah again. "What target distance did you manage on Earth, female?" 2 miles with perfect accuracy, sir. 3 miles in good conditions." The alien officers made clicking sounds, their version of laughter. "Impossible," Drax said. "Even our best Zoran snipers can only hit targets at 1.5 miles. General Krell cut in. He studied Jin-Ah with all 4 of his eyes. "If what you claim is true, human, then perhaps Commander Park isn't completely wrong." Jin-Ah stayed quiet. She knew her record spoke for itself. Back on Earth, the military had been amazed by her skills. She could calculate wind speed, gravity, and bullet drop faster than computers. It was like she could see the path of her bullet before firing. "Very well," General Krell said finally. "The human female may enter training. But I warn you, Commander Park, if this fails, no more of your kind will join our special forces." As the alien officers left the room, Jin-Ah let out a breath she had been holding. "That went better than expected," Park said with a small smile. "They don't believe I can do it," Jin-Ah said. "No, they don't." Park looked at her. "The Alliance has been fighting the Vector Collective for 20 years. They've lost many worlds, many soldiers. They don't trust new ideas or new species." Jin-Ah nodded. "Why me, Commander? There are other good shooters from Earth." "Because you're the best," Park said simply. "And because I need you to prove something." "What's that?" "That humans belong here. That we can help win this war." He paused. "The Vector attacked one of our colonies last month. Earth colony. They killed everyone. Men, women, children." Jin-Ah felt cold anger rise in her chest. "I didn't know." "The Alliance kept it quiet. They don't want panic." Park's eyes were hard. "We need to show them that humans can fight, that we're worth protecting." Jin-Ah thought of her family back on Earth. They had been so proud when she joined the Galactic Defense Force. They thought it was an honor. "I won't let you down, sir." Park nodded. "Training starts tomorrow. It will be harder than anything you've done before." As Jin-Ah left the room, she heard alien voices around the corner. "The human female won't last a week," one said. "I give her 3 days," another replied. Jin-Ah smiled to herself. They had no idea what was coming. Jin-Ah woke up at 4:30 a.m., her muscles sore from yesterday's training. The aliens had made them run 10 miles in high gravity. Many humans had failed. Jinnah had not. She put on her uniform and went to the mess hall. 2 other humans sat at a table in the corner. She walked over to them. "Mind if I join you?" she asked. The man looked up and smiled. "Please do. I'm Sung Min Choi, communications specialist." "And I'm Ji-won Lee," the woman said. "Tactical analysis." Jinnah sat down. "Jin-ah Kim, sniper." "We know who you are," Ji-won said. "Everyone's talking about you. The human female who thinks she can outshoot the Zoran snipers." Jinnah took a bite of her food. It tasted strange, made for alien tongues. "I don't think I can." "I know I can." Some men laughed. "I like your confidence. We need more of that." A loud voice boomed across the room. "Humans, training field in 5 minutes." It was Sergeant Vrax, their alien instructor. His skin was dark purple, and he had spikes down his back. The 3 humans quickly finished their food and ran to the field. "Today," Vrax said, looking at the 20 human recruits, "we test your shooting skills." They were led to a large open area with targets set up at different distances. "First target, 500 meters, Vrax said. "Standard for Alliance soldiers." Each human took turns shooting. Most hit the target. Some missed. "Second target, 1,000 meters, Vrax continued. Fewer humans hit this target. Jinnah stepped up when it was her turn. She looked through her scope, felt the light wind, and fired. Perfect hit in the center. Vrax's 4 eyes blinked in surprise. Third target, 2,000 meters. Almost all humans missed this one. When Jinnah's turn came, she again hit the center. Vrax looked annoyed. Fourth target, 3,000 meters. This was beyond what most Alliance snipers could hit. No human had ever been recorded hitting a target this far. Jinnah took her position. She closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the world around her. Wind speed, air density, the curve of the planet they were on. She opened her eyes, adjusted her scope, and fired. The range went silent. Through the viewing screen, everyone could see a perfect hit. "Impossible," Vrax said. He checked the computer. "The system must be wrong." "It's not wrong," a voice said from behind. It was General Krell, who had been watching. The human female hit the target. Jinnah stood up, her face calm. "One lucky shot doesn't make a soldier," Vrax said. "Then let her try again," General Krell ordered. Jinnah took aim once more and fired. Another perfect hit. The alien officers watching began to talk among themselves. This was not supposed to happen. Humans were the weakest species in the Alliance. How could this small female hit targets their best snipers struggled with? "Final target," General Krell said. 4,000 meters. This was beyond Alliance records. Jinnah knew it would be hard, but not impossible. She took her time, making calculations in her head. The wind had changed. The air felt different. She adjusted, then fired. The shot hit the edge of the target. Not perfect, but still a hit at an impossible distance. General Krell walked up to Jinnah. "It seems Commander Park was right about you, human." Jinnah nodded respectfully. "From tomorrow, you will train with the Special Reconnaissance Unit," Krell said. "If you survive their training, you may be useful in this war." As the general walked away, Sung Min and Jae-won came running to Jinnah. "That was amazing," Sung Min said. "No human has ever been put in special recon before." Jinnah put her rifle down. "They still don't think I'll make it." "Then prove them wrong," Jae-won said. "We're all counting on you. If you succeed, maybe they'll start taking all of us seriously." That night, as Jinnah cleaned her rifle, she heard alien officers talking outside her door. "The human female got lucky," one said. "Luck won't save her in real combat," another replied. Jinnah smiled to herself. She'd been hearing such words all her life. Too small, too weak, too female. Each time, she had proven them wrong. Tomorrow would be no different. The ship shook as it entered the atmosphere of Nixus, a small moon with thin air and rocky mountains. Jinnah checked her rifle one last time. This was her first real mission with the recon unit. "Scared, human?" asked Vrax, now her squad leader. He had been forced to accept her into his unit after General Krell's orders. "No, sir," Jinnah said. Vrax made a clicking sound with his teeth. "You should be. Vector killed 3 recon teams on this moon last month." The ship landed with a hard bump. The door opened, and cold air rushed in. 8 alien soldiers and 1 human stepped onto the surface of Nixus. "Set up base camp here," Vrax ordered. "Team A, secure the perimeter. Team B, scan for enemy signals. Human, stay back and guard the ship." Jinnah knew what Vrax was doing, keeping her away from the real action. She nodded and took position near the ship, but kept her eyes on the distant ridgelines. If Vector were here, they would be watching from high ground. 3 hours passed. The camp was set up, and the aliens began their recon work. Jinnah stayed at her post, scanning the horizon through her scope. Then she saw it, a small flash of light on a distant ridge, metal reflecting the sun. "Sir," she called to Vrax. "Movement on the north ridge, 3,200 meters." Vrax looked through his own scope. "I see nothing, human." "It's there, sir. Vector patrol, moving east along the ridgeline." Vrax lowered his scope. "Even if you're right, no one can hit a target at that range in these conditions." Jinnah kept her eyes on the ridge. More movement. The Vector weren't just passing by. They were setting up heavy weapons. "Sir, they're preparing to attack. I count 6, maybe 7 soldiers." Vrax walked away. "Stay at your post, human. Stop seeing things that aren't there." Jinnah watched as the aliens continued their work, ignoring her warning. She had a choice to make: follow orders and stay put, or trust what she saw. She made her decision. Quietly, she moved to a better position on a small hill overlooking the camp. She set up her rifle, checked the wind, and calculated the extreme distance. Through her scope, she now clearly saw 7 Vector soldiers. They were large, with thick gray skin and 4 arms. They were setting up a heavy plasma cannon aimed at the Alliance camp. Jinnah took a deep breath and fired. The shot traveled for nearly 4 seconds before hitting the first Vector soldier in the head. Before the others could react, she fired again and again. 3 shots, 3 dead Vector. The camp erupted in chaos as the remaining Vector fired their plasma cannon. A bolt of energy hit near the main tent, sending aliens running for cover. Jinnah stayed calm. She fired a 4th shot, hitting the Vector operating the cannon. A 5th shot disabled the weapon itself. The 2 remaining Vector tried to retreat. Jinnah tracked them through her scope and took them down with her final shots. Silence fell over the ridge. Vrax and the other aliens stared at Jinnah in shock as she walked back to camp. 7 Vector soldiers eliminated, sir, she reported calmly. The threat is neutralized. Vrax's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. You fired at over 3,000 meters, in bad atmospheric conditions, with changing wind patterns. Jinnah nodded. "Yes, sir." "That's not possible," one of the other aliens said. "Check the ridge." Vrax ordered 2 soldiers. "Confirm the human story." An hour later, the soldiers returned. 7 dead Vectors, sir. All headshots. They had a heavy plasma cannon aimed right at our camp. If they had fired it properly, we would all be dead. Vrax looked at Jinnah with new eyes. "You saved the unit, human." "I was doing my job, sir." That night, as the unit prepared to continue their mission, Jinnah heard the aliens talking. "Maybe it was luck," one said. "No one gets that lucky 7 times in a row," another replied. "What do you call her then?" "The humans have a word for it," Vrax said, looking at Jinnah across the camp. "Ghost. She sees what cannot be seen and kills from shadows." Word of Jinnah's actions spread quickly through Alliance forces. Human soldiers began calling her Ghost Eye. The alien commanders noted her success, but said it was beginner's luck. Jinnah didn't care what they called it. She knew what she could do. And soon, so would the entire galaxy. Jinnah stood at attention in front of Captain Do-hyun Kang's desk. He was one of the few humans with command rank in the Alliance forces. At ease, Sniper Kim, Captain Kang said. Do you know why you're here? No, sir, Jinnah replied. Captain Kang smiled. Your actions on Nixus saved your unit. General Krell has noticed. He's assigned you to my team. Jinnah's eyes widened slightly. Your team, sir. Elite multi-species tactical unit. We handle the most dangerous missions behind enemy lines. Assassination, sabotage, recon. Captain Kang stood up. Follow me. Time to meet your new team. They walked down a long hallway to a secure room. Inside, 3 beings waited. This is Zex, Captain Kang said, pointing to a tall, thin alien with 4 arms and large purple eyes. Best spotter in the Alliance. He can see heat signatures from 5 miles away. Zex nodded at Jinnah, but didn't speak. This is Lear, Kang continued, indicating a short, stocky alien with orange skin and no visible neck. Demolitions expert. He can turn anything into a bomb. Lear grunted. So this is the human female shooter everyone talks about. And this is Hyunwoo Ba, Kang finished. Forward scout. He moves like a ghost. Hyunwoo, another human, smiled at Jinnah. Good to have another human on the team. Captain Kang gestured for Jinnah to sit. This team has completed 12 high-risk missions with no failures. You're replacing Grix, our previous sniper. He was killed on our last mission. What happened? Jinnah asked. Vector ambush, Lear said, his voice rough. Shot through the head at close range. Which is why we need you, Captain Kang said. Your range keeps you out of danger. Zex finally spoke, his voice high and musical. If the stories are true, 3,000 meters on Nixus. The stories are true, Jinnah said simply. Lear made a sound like rocks grinding together, his species version of laughter. We'll see, human female. We'll see. The door opened, and several high-ranking alien officers entered. Major Drax was among them. Captain Kang, Drax said. Your new team member has arrived, I see. Yes, sir, Kang replied. We're preparing for briefing. Major Drax looked at Jinnah with his 4 eyes. I still believe this is a mistake, sending a human female on such a critical mission. Kang kept his face neutral. With respect, sir, her record speaks for itself. Another alien officer, one Jinnah didn't recognize, spoke up. One successful mission doesn't make her qualify for this unit. The human will be a liability. Jinnah stayed silent. She knew arguing would only make things worse. The decision has been made, Captain Kang said firmly. General Krell himself signed the orders. The alien officers looked unhappy but nodded. Very well, Major Drax said. Your mission briefing begins now. A holographic map appeared in the center of the room. It showed a planet with large oceans and small continents. This is Terralax, Major Drax explained. A jungle world. The Vector have established a forward command base in the northern hemisphere. Intelligence reports that Commander Grak, one of their top military leaders, will be there in 3 days. Captain Kang studied the map. What's the objective? Eliminate Commander Grak, Drax said. Cut off the head, and the body dies. Without Grak, their offensive on 3 Alliance worlds will fall apart. Jinnah looked at the map. What's the terrain like? Hostile, Drax replied. High gravity, toxic atmosphere in some areas, dense jungle. And the base is surrounded by Vector patrols. Distance for the shot? Jinnah asked. At minimum, 4,000 meters, Drax said. Beyond the range of any Alliance sniper. Jinnah felt everyone looking at her. Not beyond my range. Sir. Major Drax's face showed doubt. We'll see, human. Your team leaves in 6 hours. If you fail, the Alliance loses 3 worlds and millions of lives." After the officers left, Captain Kang turned to Jinnah. "They don't believe in you. They're setting you up to fail." Jinnah checked her rifle. "Then we won't fail." Hyunwoo smiled. "I like her attitude." "Attitude doesn't kill Vector," Lear grumbled. "No," Jinnah said, her eyes hard. "Bullets do, and mine don't miss." The jungle of Turlax was hot and wet. Jinnah felt sweat run down her back as she followed Hyunwoo through the thick plants. The high gravity made each step hard work. Her rifle felt twice as heavy as normal. "How much farther?" she whispered to Zex, who moved silently beside her on his 4 legs. 3 miles, the alien spotter replied. "We must reach the high ridge before dark." Captain Kang led the team, cutting through vines with a laser knife. Lure brought up the rear, watching for Vector patrols. They had been on Terralax for 2 days now. The air smelled strange, like rotten eggs. Jinnah's breathing mask filtered out the toxic parts, but it was still uncomfortable. "Stop," Captain Kang said suddenly, raising his hand. Everyone froze. Jinnah heard it then. Voices. Vector patrol. The team quickly hid among the giant ferns. Jinnah pressed herself into the mud, not moving a muscle. 6 Vector soldiers passed by, just 20 feet away. They were huge, each one over 8 feet tall. Their gray skin was covered in armor, and each carried a plasma rifle that could turn a human to ash in seconds. Jinnah held her breath. If the Vector found them, the mission would fail. Finally, the patrol moved on. The team waited 5 more minutes, then continued their journey. By sunset, they reached the ridge. From here, they could see the Vector base in the valley below. It was a large compound with high walls and guard towers. "There," Zex said, pointing with one of his 4 arms. "The central building. That's where Commander Grak will be tomorrow." Jinnah set up her position carefully. She unpacked her rifle and began to assemble it. This was a special model designed for extreme long-range shots. "Distance?" she asked. Zex used his special vision to measure. 4,230 meters. Lear made his grinding rock laugh. "Too far. No one can hit that." Jinnah ignored him and kept working. She dug a small hole for stability, placed her rifle, and began her calculations. "Weather report?" she asked. "Wind from the east, 12 miles per hour," Zex reported. "Air pressure dropping. Rain coming soon." "How long until the target arrives?" Captain Kang asked. Hyunwoo checked his device. "Intel says Commander Grak's ship lands at 900 hours tomorrow." Jinnah worked through the night, making tiny adjustments to her rifle. The others took turns sleeping, but she didn't rest. Morning came with heavy clouds. Jinnah's muscles ached from the high gravity. Her eyes were tired, but her mind was clear. "Target ship approaching," Hyunwoo reported. Through her scope, Jinnah watched as a Vector ship landed in the compound. Soldiers formed lines to greet their commander. "That's Grak," Zex said, looking through his own scope. "The big one with the red armor." Jinnah saw him, nearly 9 feet tall, with trophy skulls hanging from his belt. This was the Vector who had ordered the attack on human colonies. "Too many guards," Lear said. "And the distance is impossible." "Nothing is impossible," Jinnah replied quietly. She began her final calculations: wind speed, air density, the curve of the planet, the high gravity, the distance, 1,000 factors that would affect her bullet's path. "I have the shot," she said. Captain Kang nodded. "Take it when ready." Jinnah took a deep breath. She cleared her mind of everything except the target. The world narrowed to just her eye, the scope, and Commander Grak's head. She squeezed the trigger. The rifle kicked against her shoulder. The bullet flew, cutting through the air, adjusting to wind and gravity, traveling for nearly 5 seconds. Through her scope, Jinnah saw Commander Grak's head snap back. A spray of dark blood. Then the Vector leader fell. Chaos erupted in the compound. Vector soldiers ran in all directions, not knowing where the shot had come from. Confirmed kill, Zek said, his voice filled with disbelief. Direct hit at 4,230 meters. Impossible, Lyra whispered. Pack up, Captain Kang ordered. We need to move before they find us. As they quickly gathered their gear, Hyunwoo grinned at Jinna. That shot just broke every Alliance record. Jinna didn't smile. She just packed her rifle carefully. The mission isn't over until we're home. They slipped away into the jungle as Vector search parties began to spread out from the base. The hunt for the mysterious sniper had begun. The news of Commander Grak's death spread quickly through the Alliance. Jinna's team had returned safely, completing their mission without losses. In the main base on Orion Station, human soldiers celebrated. To Ghost Eye, they shouted, raising their drinks. The best shot in the galaxy. Jinna sat quietly in the corner with Sungmin and Ji-won. She didn't like the attention. You're famous now, Sungmin said with a smile. First human to join an elite team, and you took out one of the top Vector commanders. Ji-won nodded. The alien officers can't deny your skill anymore. Jinna took a sip of her drink. Some still do. I heard Major Drax telling others it was just good luck. Luck. Sungmin laughed. At over 4,000 meters. That's not luck. That's skill. The door opened, and Captain Kang walked in. The room went quiet as he approached Jinna's table. Sniper Kim, he said. General Krell wants to see you. Now. Jinna followed Captain Kang through the station to the command center. Inside, General Krell stood with several other high-ranking officers, including Major Drax. Sniper Kim, General Krell said, his four eyes blinking. Your shot on Terralax has caused quite a stir. Jinna stood at attention. Sir, the Vector have put a bounty on your head, Krell continued. They call you the human eye that sees too far. They've never done that for an individual Alliance soldier before. Jinna didn't know what to say. The Vector are afraid, Captain Kang said. They're used to having the advantage of size and strength. Now they face something they don't understand, human precision. Major Drax stepped forward. One successful mission doesn't change the fact that humans are still the weakest species in the Alliance. Perhaps physically, General Krell said. But Sniper Kim has shown that there are different kinds of strength. He turned to Jinna. I have a new assignment for you. We want you to train other human snipers. Share your techniques, your calculations, your methods. Jinna was surprised. Sir, you want me to train others? Yes, Krell said. Captain Kang will help you set up a training program. We're calling it the Human Specialized Sniper Division. Major Drax looked unhappy. General, with all respect, this is a waste of resources. Humans don't have the physical. Enough, Krell interrupted. The results speak for themselves. The shot on Terralax saved 3 Alliance worlds from Vector attack. We need more snipers who can do what Sniper Kim did. Jinna left the meeting with Captain Kang. As they walked through the hallway, he spoke quietly. This is a big opportunity for humans in the Alliance, he said. If your training program works, it will prove that humans have value beyond just being extra bodies in the fight. What if Major Drax is right? Jinna asked. What if I can't teach others to do what I do? Captain Kang smiled. Try. That's all we can ask. Over the next few weeks, Jinna worked with 30 human recruits. She taught them her methods, her way of seeing the world through a scope. Some learned quickly. Others struggled. But all improved. Meanwhile, news came from the front lines. The Vector were changing their tactics. Their commanders no longer stood in the open. They wore special armor to hide their heat signatures. They were afraid of human snipers. Jinna was teaching a class when an alarm sounded throughout the station. What's happening? One of the students asked. Captain Kang burst into the room. The Vector have launched a major offensive. They're attacking Helios Prime. Jinnah felt cold. Helios Prime was a key Alliance world, home to a major hyperspace junction. If it fell, half the Alliance would be cut off. "How bad is it?" she asked. "Bad," Kang replied. "They have 10 times our numbers. Alliance Command is sending every available unit." He looked at Jinnah and her students, including the new human sniper division. Jinnah looked at her trainees. Most weren't ready for combat. "Sir, many of them need more time." "There is no more time," Kang said. "Helios Prime falls. We lose the war." Jinnah nodded. "When do we leave?" "1 hour," Kang said. "Get your people ready." As Captain Kang left, Jinnah turned to her students. Their faces showed fear, but also determination. "Pack your gear," she said. "We're going to war." Helios Prime was burning. From the mountain ridge, Jinnah could see the Vector forces surrounding the main Alliance fortress. There were thousands of them, with heavy weapons and armored vehicles. "This is worse than I thought," Captain Kang said as he looked through his binoculars. Jinnah and her 27 sniper trainees had been dropped behind enemy lines. Their mission was to set up positions in the mountains and target Vector commanders and heavy weapons. "We need to split up," Jinnah said. "Cover more ground." Captain Kang nodded. 3 teams. You take the North Ridge. I'll take the Central Peak. Lieutenant Hyunwoo will take the South Approach. Jinnah gathered her team of 9 snipers. They were nervous but determined. "Remember your training," she told them. "Breathe. Calculate. Fire. Trust your skills." They moved quietly through the rocky terrain, setting up positions overlooking the battlefield. Jinnah chose the highest point, where she could see the entire Vector army. Through her scope, she watched as the Alliance fortress took heavy fire. Their shields were failing. They wouldn't last another day without help. "All teams in position," Captain Kang's voice came through her earpiece. "Target priorities," Jinnah asked. "Command units first, then heavy weapons," Kang replied. "On my mark." Jinnah adjusted her rifle. The distance was extreme, nearly 5,000 meters to some targets. The wind was strong, and the air was filled with smoke from the battle. 3, 2, 1, mark, Kang said. Jinnah took her shot. Through her scope, she saw a Vector commander fall. All around the battlefield, other Vector officers dropped as human snipers fired from their hidden positions. Confusion spread through the Vector forces. They couldn't see where the shots were coming from. They fired blindly at the mountains, but the human snipers were too well hidden. Jinnah's team took out 12 command units in the first hour. Captain Kang's team destroyed 8 heavy weapon positions. Lieutenant Hyunwoo's snipers eliminated the Vector communications center. Without leaders or communications, the Vector attack slowed. The Alliance fortress seized the opportunity to launch a counterattack. "It's working," one of Jinnah's trainees said excitedly. "Stay focused," Jinnah warned. "The battle isn't over." Through her scope, she saw a large Vector ship land behind enemy lines. A massive figure stepped out, wearing golden armor. "Captain Kang," Jinnah called through her comm. "New target. Large Vector in gold armor. Appears to be a high-ranking officer." "That's not just any officer," Kang replied, his voice tense. "That's General Vex, the Vector Supreme Commander. He's never come to the front lines before." Jinnah studied the figure through her scope. "Distance 5,200 meters. At the edge of my range. Can you make the shot?" Kang asked. Jinnah calculated quickly. The wind had changed. The temperature was dropping as night approached. It would be the hardest shot she had ever attempted. "Yes," she said simply. "If you take out General Vex, this war could end today." Kang said. "No pressure." Jinnah smiled slightly. "No pressure." She took a deep breath and focused. The world narrowed down to just her and her target. She made tiny adjustments to her scope, accounting for all variables. Then she fired. The bullet traveled for nearly 6 seconds. Jin-Ah held her breath the entire time. Through her scope, she saw General Vex's head snap back. The golden helmet cracked. The massive vector fell to the ground. Silence filled the battlefield. Then chaos. The vector forces began to retreat. Without their supreme commander, they had no will to continue the fight. Alliance forces pushed forward, dragging them back. Confirmed kill. Captain Kang's voice was filled with awe. Jin-Ah, you just shot General Vex at over 5,000 meters. That's impossible. Jin-Ah lowered her rifle. Not for a human sniper. As the sun set, the Alliance fortress sent out shuttles to retrieve the human snipers from the mountains. The battle for Helios Prime was over. When Jin-Ah's team returned to the fortress, Alliance soldiers, both human and alien, lined up to greet them. They cheered as the snipers walked through the gates. Major Drax was waiting inside. For once, his 4 eyes didn't look at Jin-Ah with doubt. The human sniper division, he said slowly, has saved Helios Prime. 1 month after the Battle of Helios Prime, Jin-Ah stood in the Grand Hall of Alliance headquarters. The room was filled with officers from every species in the Alliance. At the front stood General Krell and the Alliance High Command. Today, we recognize the actions that saved not just Helios Prime, but perhaps the entire Alliance, General Krell said, his voice carrying through the hall. The human sniper division, led by Jin-Ah Kim, changed the course of this war. Jin-Ah stood tall as General Krell approached her. Behind her were the 27 human snipers she had trained. For exceptional service and unprecedented skill, I promote Jin-Ah Kim to the rank of Major, Krell announced. He pinned the new rank insignia on her uniform. Major Drax stepped forward. He looked uncomfortable. I must speak, he said. When humans first joined the Alliance, I said they were too weak to fight our wars. When Major Kim was assigned to Special Forces, I said it was a mistake. He paused, his 4 eyes blinking slowly. I was wrong. A murmur went through the crowd. No one had ever heard Major Drax admit he was wrong about anything. The shot that killed General Vex has been measured at 5,237 meters. Drax continued. No sniper of any species has ever matched this. The Vector now fear human snipers more than any other Alliance weapon. Jin-Ah looked at her team. They stood proud in their new uniforms. The Human Special Operations Division had its own insignia now, a human eye looking through a scope. After the ceremony, Commander Ta-Ho Park approached Jin-Ah. Major Kim, he said with a smile. How does it feel? Strange, Jin-Ah admitted. 6 months ago, they wouldn't even let me join a regular combat unit. Park nodded. And now you command your own division. The Alliance High Command has approved your proposal. You'll be training human snipers full-time now. Jin-Ah looked around the room. Alien officers who once mocked her now nodded respectfully as they passed. New human recruits looked at her with hope in their eyes. Did you hear about the Vector? Park asked. What about them? They're asking for peace talks, Park said. The death of General Vex broke their will to fight. They're afraid of what they call the human shadow death. They mean you and your snipers. Jin-Ah thought about all the battles, all the doubt she had faced. What happens now? Now, Park said, we build the future. The Alliance has approved 5 more human sniper training facilities, and they want to study other human skills that might be useful in combat. Captain Kang joined them, along with some Min and Ji-Won. To Major Kim, Kang said, raising a glass, the woman who changed how the galaxy sees humans. Later that day, Jin-Ah walked through the training grounds. New human recruits, both men and women, were practicing with sniper rifles. Among them were aliens too, learning human shooting techniques. She stopped at the edge of the field, watching a young human woman adjust her rifle. You're holding it wrong, Jin-Ah said, kneeling beside her. Like this. The recruit looked at her with wide eyes. Major Kim. Thank you. What's your name? Jinnah asked. My son Yoon, the young woman replied. I joined because of you. They said women couldn't be warriors. Then you showed them. Jinnah helped my son adjust her position. It's not about being a man or woman, human or alien. It's about finding your strength and using it. As the sun set over the training field, Jinnah watched as humans and aliens worked side by side. In the distance, she could see a group of new alien officers listening to Commander Park. You thought humans were the weakest species in the galaxy, he was telling them. Now you know why that was the biggest mistake the Vector ever made. Jinnah smiled. From outsiders to respected allies. From mocked to feared. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate humans, especially human women with sniper rifles. The end.